Hi there, it's Mitra with Real Brokerage, back with more information for your next move. Today, we're going to talk about appraisals. An appraisal is a formal opinion of value generally required by a lender to provide guidance on how much money can be responsibly leveraged against a specific property based upon the condition of the home, overall market conditions, and comparable sales. In an ideal scenario, the appraised value would come in equal to or greater than the contracted price. When that happens, the transaction continues to run its course without interruption or additional negotiations. If, however, the appraisal comes in lower than the contracted price, there are a few different possible outcomes. If there is an appraisal contingency in play, the buyer has the right to walk away from the contract and retain their full earnest money deposit. Generally speaking, before a buyer voids a contract, their first step is to attempt to negotiate the purchase with the seller. If the seller agrees, the purchase price can be reduced to the appraised value. If the gap between the appraised value and the contracted price is significant, the parties will often agree to reduce the price to a number somewhere between the two. This is only possible when the buyer is able to bring enough cash to closing to maintain the lender's financing ratio requirements, meaning if a lender agrees to finance 80% of a purchase, they will only actually finance 80% of the appraised value, not the purchase price. So the buyer will need to have the difference in cash. In instances where the seller is not willing to reduce the purchase price, the buyer still has the option to purchase the home if that's their desire and if they can come up with enough cash for the difference and still qualify for their loan. In cases where there is no appraisal contingency in play, the buyer is actually required to move forward with the purchase at the contracted price, regardless of appraised value. If the buyer is unable to perform due to a low appraisal and there is no appraisal contingency, unfortunately, that buyer is likely to lose their earnest money deposit upon cancellation of the contract. As always, if you have any questions about how all of this pertains to you, I would be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.